In and Out with me, Professor Yalman, from the TEDU radio studios at TED University. This is to reach out to those who have questions and want desperate answers. Why me? Because I've seen it all. I've seen it all in different aspects. I have been up, down, I was fired, I was hired, I was poor, I was rich. I fell in love, I lost my love, I became a kite surfer, I became a writer, I became a poet, I became a musician. I never stopped trying. At the end of the day, I never stopped trying. I never lost my hope. There was always a pinnacle in my life where the answers to those questions came. And if those answers are not coming by themselves, here's your chance to ask us. Ask us and I will answer them. As I say, life can get even or you can get a 7. So a 7 you can get much easier, not just believing in luck, but being persistently pursuing your path, which is your authentic path. Ask the questions. In and Out with Professor Yalman every week on Thursday with you. Semih Yalman is answering the questions of students. We are at the studios of Radio TEDU, and you can reach us via Instagram or through the Radio TEDU website, and we will be delighted to have your questions each Thursday to answer these valuable questions. Here we go, our first episode with In and Out with Professor Yalman.
Welcome, Professor Yalman. And we are thrilled to have you and share your knowledge and information with us. And I want to start with a very general question for our podcast. How do students like us with startups or manage their motivation? Like how they can stay motivated to keep up with their startups?
Hope. You should never lose hope. First of all, it's a process where your hopes are up, your imagination is up, and you should be jotting down your ideas. You should never think geography is your destiny. You should never think about negatives in terms of magnetic fields. You should always pursue that everything you think, everything you imagine will become one day the reality, your reality. So I think that's the starting point. But any dream, any imagination, skill that you contribute to whatever your pursuit is, you should have a plan, and the plan should have roll down objectives, KPIs, and to achieve this plan of becoming true, you should build a network.
Okay, just to follow up with this, so usually you hear a lot people say that you need to stay persistent as well. It's very important, discipline with hope, as you mentioned. So my follow-up question would be like, when do you think it's the right plan or the right destinations for the person, or when he should switch lanes? Like, for example, if this thing is not the right thing for him as a startup and he should replace it with a different idea, for example.
Ziad, you would never know without trying. Right now, I think everything starts with recognizing the fact that who you are, what you are, why you are, and at the same time what your skills are, what your talents are, and what interests you and what excites you. I mean, if you put all that together in a bundle and you give the time to yourself to pursue that path, I think time will show you whether you should be stubborn in terms of contributing with your project or with your pursuit to life, or deviate from that, pivot from that, and focus on something else.
Sounds very good. Thank you so much. My fellow friends, you have questions? You can go ahead.
Nice to see you and hear you, Professor Yalman. I want to ask that what skills do you think that I should focus on to keep myself alive in the competitive job market? What do you think about it?
The skills, you have to first of all write down your skills, but your skills has to be harmoniously together with your talents and your interest areas. So I think this path requires a certain developmental approach. You should have a plan. You should meet people who would contribute to your life. You should have a certain way of approaching things, which is your unique and authentic style. But at the same time, it's a never-ending story in terms of your self-development. That's why I always say you should personally innovate. personally innovate, to perspire and inspire firstly yourself and then your surroundings, who would later on believe in you and, lend you that hand that you require.
Therefore, the following question would be, how should I balance the development part and the living part, like responsibilities such as school and work that are time consuming in my life?
You know what? You got to bite the bullet, as they say. The thing is, life and pursuit are not two different things. You have to put them all together. I had once a boss who told me there is not Semih at home and there's not Semih at the job. There's not Semih at the gym. There's only one Semih. So you should be the same at home. You should be the same at school. You should be the same at the gym. You should be the same with your girlfriend or your wife. So I think you have to sort of firstly make them disappear, your different selves, and you have to unite yourself into one. And once you unite yourself into one, then you will have a systematic countdown of how to approach things and what is actually your priorities are. You cannot do everything at the same time. You cannot be poor and suffer from no food and shelter, etc. But at the same time, you shouldn't be seeking a luxurious life if you decide to become a person who deals with startups. Even when you look at these famous people, they don't buy luxurious stuff and live in luxurious places, whatever, even though they have made ton of money. It's a way of life. It's a style of life. So I think it drills down to the point where what your priorities are going to be, and to unite those priorities, you have to unite yourself into one.
You somehow disagree with the idea, and you think that we should pursue the development part as a whole in our life.
Definitely, your development cannot be categorized or split into different systems or different time zones, whatever. You have to unite yourself, and you have to pursue that in terms of priorities as a whole.
Thanks so much, Professor Yalman.
Well, today we ran out of time, 7 minutes. We hope to see you and meet with you and hear from you next week. We will have this podcast also through video in the coming episodes. I want to thank you, TED University and TED Radio, to help us sort of achieve our objective of reaching out to the students who need actually answers to their questions. In and Out with me, Professor Yalman, will be with you every Thursday.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Yepyeni,
Genç,
dinamik,
farklı, Radyo TEDÜ.